United States Marine Corps. That means a lot to this man, Roger Crawford. He's 18 years of age, and he's part of the Marine Corps. But he's our high qualifier this week, and he was our high qualifier last week, and he was our champion last week. A lot of good numbers, and there he is.
And this match will be power against power. Both of these young fellas, Roger's, 18, and Earl, but they both like to get a hold of the ball from the bottom and just put the juice to it, hit it with the fingers. If you remember last week, that's just the way Roger got out of the gate.
Oh, yeah. There's Earl right back at it. Both bowlers are scratch bowlers. Earl averaged, his highest average this year was 215, while Roger's was 212. It's pretty good numbers.
I just wonder if there was a little psychology on picking how he started. You know, that's Roger's prerogative, how he picks the lanes. And I think he wanted Earl to finish up on lane 7 for maybe a reason, or Roger wanted to finish up on lane 8. And he crossed over.
Both bowlers have 300 games to their credit. They're also spot bowlers, and they also use 16-pound balls. They're also good bowlers.
And that ball better get raised. There it comes.
Here's Roger. He opened the gate in a hurry last week, rolled 11 strikes.
You know, summer leagues where you can break the ice and you can make warm friends in a cool summer fun league play. Our great openings are available for women, men, mixed couples, and juniors. And he's getting out of the gate like he did last week. And you know, any team captain that has a team to register over here receive a free pair of designer jeans. So why don't you stop in or call 727-BOWL and sign up your team.
I was asking Doug about that just a minute ago.
And Roger.
And 3 in a row. And that brings a smile to his face. That puts some pressure on Earl.
The Marine is making expense money while he's home.
He's cleaning up, that's for sure.
And there's Earl.
Oh boy, that was his ball.
That was a real fine shot. There's words been said that that's the only true tap in bowling.
That pin's still shaking.
And he'll probably just shoot the normal strike ball. And there it is, on it. The man who said that was the incomparable Joe Norris. Great Hall of Famer. And still bowling. I think probably this year will be about his 55th or 56th ABC. American Bowling Congress tournament that a lot of the bowlers are up in Niagara Falls.
Here's Earl Weatherford in Erlanger, Kentucky, and he's looking at the goalpost.
And I just wonder if Roger, as young as he is, had the knowledge to realize that he could force Earl to bowl on the left lane in the 10th. He's shooting over for the 4-pin.
So Roger, with 3 in a row, we're in the 4th frame. The Mad Cranker, as I was referring to Roger last week. See what he can do. There it is, 4 in a row. This man was made for television.
You know, I used to bowl in the World Invitational, and Joe used to shoot a 300 game every time in the finals. semifinals against the field up there and knocked me out of that tournament. I said, why don't they just write it in a program? It looks like we got Roger here going to do the same thing.
And there's a 6 pin. What can you say? It looks more like a 4 pin to me. They all look alike, actually.
And cross lane. And put it away.
So, out of the gate in a hurry, Roger Crawford plus 43, and Earl has a long way to go.
And this is the lane he looked like he's the most comfortable to roll the ball. And there he is.
Well, here's the big question, Eddie. Can he figure out 7, and what kind of adjustment does he need to make?
To me, I think he's going to move a little inside, a little more inside, and keep the ball just a little straighter. But if you notice, he takes that big first step, which is the key to this whole game. I always say the first step you take in bowling is the most important, is the first step.
He went a little outside with it, and that's the ball he's been searching for.
Went in with his feet. Swung it out there. Strong ball. And let's see if Roger can come back on him. And I love the eye shot here. That this split screen.
Oh,
and
boy.
in the pit.
This is what happened to Roger last week. He rolled 4 in a row, got a 9 count, then a spare, and then filled the rest up with X's. He rolled 11 strikes in the first match last week.
And that 9-pin count was a wrap 10.
That was... he'd like to have that ball back. No, he probably wouldn't. That was his ball. Just left a 10. See?
Here he comes. For a wrench. The way these two gentlemen are bowling, this game will be over before we know it.
You say they're bowling like the ladies?
And look at the eyes of Roger there. He's looking at that score sheet.
Earl working on 2. He's not very happy with that ball.
No, what really hurts is that's the lane that he had in his pocket. And he hasn't been missing that one, and he just come up at the foul line just a little bit. If I was to get a hold of Earl's game, I would have to shorten up his approach a little bit. Boy, he's got the super arm swing.
Well, he's going to need some strikes the rest of the way because he's down 35 and we're in the 8th. There's not much you can do when your opponent throws 7 strikes out of 8 balls, but there's Earl doing all he can do, and that's throwing the strike ball.
With that type of a ball, he can create all the release in the area he wants. Both of them are right on the back edge of the approach. But one's 5 and one is 4-step.
And looky here.
If you remember last week, I think he missed the 10 pin and then shot 267. He can go 279 this game.
Well, he's going to be in the 2s, no problem.
And he's playing both lanes about alike.
And looky here. A 189 in the 7th, a strike in the 8th, and a strike in the 9th.
These male bowlers are going to be shipping him back to the Marines real quick. Call in his furlough.
I talked to him last week after the telecast, and I said, "Do you get to bowl a lot in service?" And he said, "No, I don't. I didn't have my equipment with me, so I didn't even mess with it." But boy, did he come back on a streak.
I tell you, sometimes you can, it's best to, that's the reason a lot of bowlers just drill a new bowling ball. They get just stale with the one they're bowling with, and I've never seen it fail. That as soon as you drill a new bowling ball, psychologically you bowl better.
Earl,
Is that power?
Boy, he's cranking it out now. That's 3 in a row for Earl.
If you can take a good look at his arm swing, that arm comes straight up out over the target and finishes high with the arm. To the viewing audience that are thinking about buying a bowling ball, go to your local pro shop and let a pro measure you and drill it.
Oh boy, power. Earl, after that one open frame, could finish with a 224.
And I would have liked to seen him cash that one in that he missed on his favorite lane, that right one. And he hit just a little bit high.
Well, finishing on 7 for Earl really hasn't caused much of a problem.
Nope, he made the fine adjustment.
Finishes with 5 strikes in a row. 224. Super game from Earl Weatherford.
That's the type of match we expected last week. Strike after Roger came off at a 267. He was bowling his coach here, the YBY ABA coach.
What a ball game. He's just making things happen.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's keeping them all in the pit. They're all there. He's only had one what you would call ripper. The rest have been packed.
The first game last week, he rolled 11 strikes, had 1 open frame, and
they want blood. Everybody hard, kick it out of there.
A spare here could finish Roger with a 268. That is a TV performer.
I think he just went by our high game.
And there it is. He sure did. The high game of the year. Roger Crawford broke his own record. Oh boy, he's our champion for the 2nd week in a row in week 5 of the Super Bowl TV Merit Tournament. And Eddie Jackson and Nick Benz will be back with presentations, awards, and who knows what else right after this. We're back at the Super Bowl lanes in Erlanger, Kentucky, where we just completed week 5 of the Super Bowl TV Merit Tournament. And if you'd like to qualify in the Super Bowl TV Merit Tournament, here's Doug Martin to tell you how.
Thank you very much, Nick. Well, it's very simple. If you're a league bowler here at Super Bowl and have 21 games or more in a league here, if you're a man, you must roll a 200 game or better in league play. If you're a woman, you must have rolled a 175 game or better in league play. And that's all you have to do to be able to qualify. And then come out here on Saturday or Sunday. Saturday we have qualifying at 2:45 and 4 o'clock. And then on Sunday it's 12:45, 2 o'clock, and 4 o'clock. So we will have qualifying next weekend, so stop out and you may get on the show here and be able to make some of the money that I'm about to pass out. First of all, with on the women, Glenna Sidner. The Sidner jinx is continuing here for some reason. I thought you were going to make a comeback there and take that game, pull it out in the end, but unfortunately it didn't work out that way. But we have a check here for you for 3rd place. Congratulations, Glenna. Okay. And second of all, Jean Sayre. She's been wanting to get on the show here since we started. She made it this week, but she ran into a tough customer there today, but she bowled real well and came in 2nd place. So, Jean, there's a check for you for 2nd place. Congratulations. And Sherry Young, she throws a tremendously strong ball, and she was equal to the task today as she is our champion this week. Have a check for you, Sherry, for $50 for 1st place. Congratulations. And down in our men here, unfortunately, Dallas Creech made the show, but was unable to compete. Had a bad back. Says he's been working too hard lately. But anyway, Dallas, we have a check for you for 4th place. Congratulations. And then Larry Miller, we had to call him, get him out of bed to fill in for Dallas today. So we came in here, threw a couple balls, was ready to go, and ran into some tough people today also, but Larry did a fine job for short notice here. Congratulations. And Earl Weatherford, he ran into our Marine and just had a heck of a time with him. But anyway, Earl, we still have a check here for you for 2nd place money. Good shooting. Congratulations. Roger Crawford, I think everybody's wanting you to hurry up and go to Okinawa here, so they got a chance. But Roger, our 2nd week, is champion. Roger, we have a check here for you for 1st place money, $55. Congratulations. Good shooting. Turn back over to Nick.
Oh, good. I love it. Well, first of all, everyone's commenting on my shoes, and it's just because I'm excited about being a part of bowling, since I took a few of Eddie's tips and took them out last week and practiced on them. And I'm going to take some tips now on interviewing Eddie. Let's see these famous Eddie Jackson interviews.
Why don't you tell them what you got as a gift for being a patient bowler last week?
Good idea. I walked in this week, and Eddie came up behind me and tapped me on the back. I turned around, and there was my first bowling ball.
Brand spanking blue one, right?
That's right. It was very pretty, and I thank you very much, Eddie.
Let me get over here and talk to Glenn, if you don't mind. Glenn, you know, I watched you bowl for 2 weeks now, and seemed like you throw the ball so well, and yet you seem to have a little trouble on the tube.
I try. It's just difficult.
Well, you know, I've played up here, you know, bowling, and it does get tough, but yet you roll the ball so super. I was commenting to Nick during the whole show that the balance of the ladies at the foul line, the deep knee bend, the fundamentals is just super with you.
I just need to get tough.
Well, Larry already told me you were tough.
He's tough too, but not in front of the cameras.
I refer. Well, I'm glad you said that. I didn't. I refer to you two as the beauty and the beast, and Larry don't like that.
What am I?
You are definitely the beauty. Let me have Jeannie over here. Jeannie, you know, I've known you for a long time, and every time I say, with Jeannie around, you got to have fun.
That's my name of the game.
But I noticed you had a young lady here with you this morning. Who was that?
That's Pam Sears, my coach, and I really love her.
Well, I think we all do. Pam is a fine young lady, and she's soon to become a mother. And she was a queen, king of queen for a long time. That's a sort of a dumb statement, isn't it? She's queen for 6 weeks, and she was your coach?
Yes, sir.
What about that beer match?
Do I have to tell it all?
No, we won't go into it. Let me.
I beat him the second time, though.
You did beat him the second
Uh-huh.
time? Fantastic. Sherry, come on over here, will you? Sherry, you know, I made the comment that you're relatively, as easy as you can see, a lady that gets to the foul line real nice and slow, gets that deep knee bend, and keeps that left arm out there balanced. Did you have any coaching?
No, just learned on my own.
Just picked it up on your own. And the speed that you throw the ball down the lane, is that built up power just going to the approach?
Yeah,
Just built up.
just goes.
Well, that's the way they went, and I'll tell you, when she hit the pins, that's the way they went, too. Dallas, you know, when I talk about bad backs, I have a history of bad backs, everybody knows. I had to cancel off in the middle of a second game, and so I apologize, you know, friend, for you getting out of here. You're going to try again, aren't you?
I'll be back. Yeah, this is one of the nights. Last night I shouldn't have danced all night. It was my wife's birthday, and she wanted to go dancing, so I took her dancing, and I paid the consequences.
Dallas, there's no way in the world that I didn't know you were going to blame it on your wife.
Well, you know, that's the way men are. They ain't going to accept everything for themselves. You know, they got to pass out the guilt wherever it goes, you know, and she gets it.
Well, thanks a lot, Dallas. Larry, you know what? I refer to you as the Smokey Burgess. You came out of a bed, and you come out here, and the first pitch you threw was bam, right in a 1-3. And what can you say about your game? Have you been bowling very long?
I've been bowling about 10 years, and it got me at short notice. I just wish I had a bigger notice, but I was, you know, more than happy to be on the show. I was glad to be on the show today.
Well, I tell you what, for short notice, you made a fine showing, and you bowled real well, except Earl, you know, Earl the Pearl over here is a veteran, and he sort of took care of you very well.
Right. I had trouble on the left side, and I like to have it 6-pin back too in about the 8th frame.
I bet you would. Come on over here, Earl. Let me talk to you a minute. You know, I made mention that you're one of these young stars that just get up there and sling the fella to the right and pray that it gets back to the hole. Is that about the way it goes?
Well, I try to play an area, but you know, today I had a lot of trouble. I used 4 different balls out there today, and I just couldn't. I had a real hard time getting lined up. So in between the break after the first game, I tried to move further inside with the ball to get a little bit better reaction, and I didn't really get the reaction I wanted until about the 6th frame.
You know, I was picking up your moves on the show, and being an old washed-up bowler, I guess, like myself, I was saying that you were going to have to move left, and you kept moving left, and then I said, well, he finally got the angle on the pocket. Now he's going to have to change the equipment, and you did.
Well, I was using a plastic ball to start with, and in practice it really rolled good, and I was really banging the pocket, but when I got out here for the first game, the shot was entirely different, and I had a real hard time adjusting to the shot. I just wanted to try to keep the first few balls in play, and then try to go from there and make the adjustment. And the more I adjusted, it seemed like the wider the ball went, so I ended up just trying to move all the way in and changing equipment to a urethane ball, and I went to the Force 3. And I pretty well got the reaction out of it as compared to the angle and the red dot that I was trying to use.
Well, you did a fine job. I think you shot 224 and finished up with the last 5.
It was about 40 pins short.
40 pins short. Well, there's no defense, but I kind of thought you had that lane 8 in your pocket, and you let that one get away from you.
Yeah. Well, Roger's a real good bowler, and he's pretty young, and he throws one of the best balls for one of the youngest bowlers out here I've ever seen. He's got a lot of striking power, and the lanes got better for him, and a little bit worse for me until I picked up what I had to do. And what can you say against somebody that throws 9 or 10 strikes against you?
Seems like it's a normal performance, doesn't it?
Well, sure.
Come on over here, Roger. You know what? I heard some of the bowlers back there saying they're going to take up a collection to get you on a slow boat to China.
I'll be pretty close to there. I'll be over in Japan pretty soon.
Well, I didn't miss much then, did I?
Yeah.
You headed for Japan?
Yeah, I leave May the 8th to go to Okinawa.
Was there any psychology in you finishing up on lane 8 and Earl finishing up on lane 7?
Yeah, I like the way the ball reacted on lane 8 a little better than I did on 7, so I choose to finish on 8.
Well, I was making a comment on that. It's kind of funny to see a young fellow like you, 18, to have that much savvy to figure out where you wanted either Earl to finish or where you were most comfortable finishing. You chose where you were the most comfortable, right?
Yeah, I was having trouble with my shoes. I wasn't sliding very well, so I was having to use cigarette ashes to make me slide. That's why I threw a couple bad pitches.
Well, if you threw a couple bad pitches, we didn't notice it. But anyway, all of them went in a pitch. You only had one ripper, and I tell you, it was a beautiful shot. And I'd like to see you bowl some more out here, and you be back here. And we'll see more, Roger. Nick, it's all yours.
All right, I'd like to thank all the bowlers personally, and I'd like to invite our viewing audience out next Sunday morning around 9:30, 10 o'clock for our taping of this show. And that'll do it from the Super Bowl lanes in Erlanger, Kentucky. For the executive producer, Joe Hackman, I'd like to thank our producer-director, Ron Lawson. I'd like to thank Eddie Jackson, of course, he's a super guy. From the Super Bowl lanes, have a good day.